Good morning guys, my name is Cindy and I am your new grammar teacher. I will be joining you in this journey of learning how to use grammar properly, and we are going to accomplish that by learning some rules. Grammar is a really powerful tool if you know how to use it. It can be really challenging to Spanish speakers, so that's why it's really important to know it. So guys, today we are going to teach you step by step how to change active voice sentences into passive voice sentences. Let's get started.
Changing a sentence from active to passive voice does not change the meaning of the statement, but it does switch the emphasis from the subject, the person doing the action, to the direct object, the thing that receives the action.
You must move the object to the beginning of the sentence. Sentences in the active voice achieve the passive voice. Switch this placement by moving the direct object to the beginning of the sentence. This will highlight the object in its reception of the verb. So class, continuing with the same example, the next step is to add an auxiliary verb be before the main verb. It will make the active verb passive. The active voice will be, he will write a letter, and passive it will be, a letter will be written by him. Now you have to add the preposition by before the subject. The subject should come at the end of the passive voice sentence. In this other case, maintain the correct tense from the original sentence. Keep any auxiliary verbs. Read the passive voice sentence over to yourself to make sure it has the same tense as the former active voice sentence. Now I am going to give you 3 examples of the same sentences in active and passive voice. The first one is, the cat kills the mice, that is active, and the mice are killed by the cat is passive. The second example is, some boys were helping the wounded men, that is active voice. Now in passive is, wounded men were being helped by some boys. The last example is, someone will have stolen my purse, that's active, and my purse will have been stolen by someone, that is passive voice. Remove emphasis from the subject. While the passive voice is discouraged in some instances, because it could be a sign of weak writing, there are plenty of situations where it's appropriate. In active voice it's, I have lied to the American people, and in the passive voice it would be, the American people have been lied to. The preposition by is removed from the sentence to avoid reiteration. Easy. Now place the direct object in a place of importance. If the subject of your sentence is relatively unimportant while the direct object and the action done to it are significant, the passive voice can be used. Writers often use the passive voice when describing an event or occurrence in which the direct object or action is more relevant than the subject of the sentence. The examples are, in active voice, XYZ first tested American nuclear device in July 1945, and in passive voice, it's, American nuclear devices were first tested in July 1945. In this passive example you have to remove the by XYZ. Writing a scientific or technical paper in passive voice. In science writing, the passive voice is used to indicate objectivity and detachment from the topic or investigation of the paper. Within scientific paper, sections describing methods, materials or processes are nearly always written in passive voice. In this example the active voice is, my team placed 7 stream gauges in the river, and in the passive voice is, 7 stream gauges were placed in the river. By my team is eliminated from the sentence. Okay class, that was all for today's topic. What did you learn?
I learned that we can choose the emphasis in a sentence depending on the type, if it's passive or active.
Very good. What else, class?
I learned that we have to add auxiliaries and prepositions to do what Tom said. Also we must maintain the sentence tense and remove emphasis from the subject, Miss Cindy.
Excellent, Emma. Also, don't forget that you have to place the object in a place of importance. This can be useful to describe events. And besides all this, you can write scientific papers in passive voice too. Thank you so much for joining our class today. We hope you enjoyed the lesson and that you were able to learn the useful rules of passive and active voice in sentences. Goodbye.